Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to I Like Pie Game. If you're new here, a very big welcome. If you've been here before, a very big welcome back. And today we are talking about the honey badger. No, not the mean-spirited little bug-munching monster. We're talking about Daniel Ricciardo. Daniel Ricciardo, if you don't watch Formula One, Daniel Ricciardo is an Australian driver. He has won 8 races. I think he won 7 for Red Bull Racing and 1 for McLaren. And two-time Monaco winner too. And basically, he's back as of the Hungarian Grand Prix, which is on the 23rd, 21st, 23rd or 21st. When is that? 23rd. Anyway, so the Hungarian Grand Prix on the 23rd will be Daniel Ricciardo's return to Formula One. Um, as an Australian, this excites me. Daniel Ricciardo was probably my favorite driver. Um, and then came Mark Webber, and then came everyone else. But that's just because of, well, Australians. It's good to see Australians getting out into the big boys, so to say. But I mean, we do have Pistari now, so yeah. So there's going to be 2 Australians on the grid. So for those of you that don't know what's going on, Nick DeVry has basically not performed well. I mean, he performed really well last year. Like, he scored 2 points last year on his first race when he filled in for, was it Alex Albon? I think he filled in for Alex Albon. Anyway, it was when they were all getting COVID and stuff like that. But he performed really well then. But this season he has just shit the bit. He really is not performing well at all. And Marco has decided to punt him from the car, and Red Bull has given its junior team Daniel Ricciardo on loan. The next question is, how is Daniel Ricciardo going to perform? Because when Daniel Ricciardo was driving for McLaren, he really struggled. And I think the brake will do him good, and I think having him with Tsunoda is really going to boost Tsunoda, because you could look at the experience of Daniel Ricciardo, and then you look at Tsunoda. Tsunoda's, yeah, he comes and goes is the problem. I think a lot of it has to do right now with the cars, because last year Tsunoda wasn't doing too bad. This year Tsunoda scored what, 2 points, 3 points, 2 points. So it's basically going to be what they can get out of the car. I think that's what the big thing's going to be. And can Daniel Ricciardo get stuff out of the car that Nick Jarrett couldn't? I don't really see this as a path for Daniel Ricciardo to get back into actual Red Bull, like in a full-time spot, mostly because Perez is there. Even though Perez is pretty much doing useless right now. But I mean, if Perez keeps performing the way he does, Marco might just turn around and be like, you're gone too. You never know. Hopefully not, because I think Perez has a lot of ability, a lot of talent, a lot of potential. But you also have to look at last year. He was saying if they keep adding races, he's going to quit because it is just too hard on him. And he said this, I think he said it on one of the news channels. I'm just trying to remember right now. But anyway, so he said that. He said, if it keeps going like this, I'm just going to be gone. And I mean, they lost a race this year for China. And it's just, I don't know. I mean, last year Perez was doing really well. This year Perez is just not. He really isn't. And I just noticed that my wardrobe is open. Yeah, I gotta shut that. But no, it's good to see the Honey Badger back. I hope he does really well for AlphaTauri, and I hope he can bring AlphaTauri up a bit more. I really do think that AlphaTauri does need more experience in the team, and I think it's going to come down to can he mentor Tsunoda well enough. I think they're going to be looking at this more of a Tsunoda's the main driver. Ricciardo is basically just there to fill the gap. I don't think they're going to be looking at Ricciardo as a main driver either next year. I think they're going to be looking into the Red Bull Juniors. Basically, the Red Bull team's coming up in Formula 2, Formula 3 and that. And I think they're going to be more looking at getting another young driver up as opposed to. I mean, they could very well move Ricciardo into a full-time position next year for AlphaTauri. Because Helmut Marko was saying that 2 years he was thinking and Tsunoda could be racing for Red Bull. I think Tsunoda has a lot of talent. I think Tsunoda has been handed a really bad hand by having a car that is underpowered and just not performing the way that it should be, especially being a Red Bull Junior team. I mean, you look at the Red Bull cars, and the Red Bull cars are just killing it. You look at the AlphaTauris, and they're barely beating the Haas. I mean, this is a year where Haas has surprised me. It really has. I mean, they've had some great qualifying. They haven't really been able to push it out into onto actual race day, but they have been able to get in some good laps, get in some good qualifying, get in. A lot of time it's been luck. A lot of time it's been like, oh, I'm going to get out there first, and all of a sudden it rains. But still, I mean, Haas is Haas. They're going to. I look at Haas mostly as a grid filler. And they're going to be a grid filler until they. You could say take it seriously. I mean, I know they're trying to take it seriously. But at the same time, I mean, come on. McLaren surprised me at Silverstone. McLaren really surprised me at Silverstone. With Norris and Piastri, 2 and 4, they came out of nowhere. All year they've been struggling. They haven't had the pace, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they're just like, wow! Wow! And I think they just took everybody by surprise. I mean, I think Max Verstappen was a little taken back on that first couple laps where Norris was leading and Piastri was gaining on him. I mean, you want to talk about teams that are shit to bed. Let's talk about Ferrari. The amount of skill they have and the way they started their season. Like, the first 2 races of the season, I thought it was just going to be Ferrari, Red Bull, all year through. Just all year through, nothing else. Just go for it. And slowly, it's like they hit that, that bell curve. And they just haven't been able to really come together anymore. I think a lot of the other teams are bringing in upgrades and all that. I mean, Red Bull's basically said that they're not doing any more upgrades this year. I think I read that right. And that they're more so looking towards next year's car. I mean, do you blame them? I mean, they're miles ahead of everybody else. But, I mean, you look at the Formula One forums, that has to be one of the most toxic places right now. Every second post is Hamilton was robbed. and every third post is hashtag not my champion sort of thing for the staff. I mean, I got off the forums for Formula One because it was just toxic and horrible, and it was just repetitive. And you look at half the Formula One journalists, and 90% of them will basically take anything that's said bad about Max Verstappen and basically just throw it out there, and anything with Lewis Hamilton, and just basically jerk off to it. But that's all I'm going to say about that. I mean, I think Lewis Hamilton is a really good driver. I think Lewis Hamilton is one of the best drivers ever in Formula One. Do I think he's the best? No, I think Ayrton Senna was the best. And I think if Ayrton Senna hadn't died, I think that things would have been a lot different. But, I mean, that's how things go. I mean, at Austria, we had another 18-year-old guy on the track when he got T-boned. I've seen some of the clips on that, and holy hell. It didn't look too bad like the first time I seen it. It was like, oh, you got hit. The car did what it's supposed to do, and then it's like, wait, that's not what the car is supposed to do. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Electrifying Gaming, and today we were talking about Formula One because Formula One is my favorite type of racing. I don't like NASCAR. I watch NASCAR every now and then, mostly because I live in Canada, and most of my friends watch NASCAR. Very few of them watch Formula One. But growing up in Australia, I used to stay up till like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday night, having to go to school Monday morning, just so I could watch the races. So to me, Formula One is the premier racing. That's just my take on it. If you think what you like, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Stick around for a bit because I do play a lot of games, and I'm going to start doing more vlogs, I think. Yeah, I think I'm going to start doing more vlogs because, let's face it, if you see any of my gaming videos, I literally got the personality of a wet napkin. But that's how things go. We can't all be perfect. So, anyway, y'all have a great day, and I hope to see you back. Have a good one.